what we're going to do today is show you how to take honey out of comb, or how to extract honey from comb which is being cut out of a hive. Sometimes you might want to cut the comb out of the frames or out of the hive and not extract using a centrifuge. It's a very simple method, a lot easier than using a centrifuge. Basically, we're going to crush all this comb into a mush like this, which will filter through our filter. There might be some bees in there might be some pollen and some propolis. That's not a problem. The filter will sort all that out. You just use a stick like this and you break apart all the wax cells. Just crush them and break them all apart, and that'll release the honey. Once that's done, and once it's all nice and evenly broken up, you'll take this mixture and you'll pour it onto a sieve like this. This sieve we make from a simple piece of material, buy it in material shop, just a simple mesh. Just get the right size, not too thick, not too thin, sort of medium sized mesh. The best way I find is to double it up. So cut it, double it up, push it in there, some simple tape and a bucket. Just simply tape it on, nice and tight, so it doesn't fall in. All the way around. The space is what you want to have. Forms a nice little bed, and we're going to pour this mixture into here. The honey will go through and the wax will stay on top. The wax that's left over, and later on we're going to show you how to turn it into something like this, which is a block of solid beeswax, which you can use for something else. So you'll have your wax on top, your honey on the bottom. Your honey you can simply put into bottles or jars, ready for sale or use. Simple method. Okay, so once the honey's all nice and broken up, all the comb has been broken up, all the wax cells have been broken and released their honey, we're going to pour this mixture into the sieve. Just slowly, carefully pour it into the sieve. Make sure you've taped it nice and tight so it doesn't pull off. And you can hear the honey pouring through and the wax being filtered out. You might want to be careful if you're doing this outside. You might want to be careful. There might be some bees coming around to have a look, and they can get a bit out of hand, especially if it's a warm day. So you might need to do this inside. Another good thing to bear in mind is if you can get this honey a little bit warmer, if you can put it in a warm room before you do this, or even a warming cabinet. You can buy a warming cabinet to warm it up, just to get a bit warmer. It flows a lot quicker, and this will make it a lot easier to do this. So we'll leave that now for a couple of hours, and then it should be separated. You'll have a nice bit of wax on top, and most of the honey will go to the bottom. And then we'll show you what to do with the wax on top. That's another thing. And the honey on the bottom will be raw honey, which can be bottled. Much more valuable than shop bought honey, which has been purified and filtered. Okay, so we're back to our bucket of honey. We filtered the wax. You can see just the wax remains on top. All the honey's gone to the bottom. That's the nice clean wax. Now we're just going to take this off. I'll show you what to do next stage. Carefully take this off. Make sure it doesn't all fall inside. Carefully grab it. And that is your wax. Give it one last squeeze to get the last few drops of honey out. If you have a look in here, you'll see your raw honey. That's got propolis, it's got pollen in it. It's the most healthy product you can ever get. We put this in a bowl, and now with this honey, normally you'd want to use a bucket with a little tap on, but if you're on a tight budget, you can just use the bucket. Get your jars ready, and you can literally pour it straight into the jar, and that will be ready for selling or for your own use. I tend to eat it all before I sell it, but if you've got more than me, you might want to sell some, make a bit of money. There's one jar, there's the next jar. You might have the odd bee's leg. If you go for a finer filter, you'll just have pure honey. I don't mind a few bees' legs, or because I know I've got a bit of propolis, a bit of pollen, and that's the healthy part of the honey. So there's 2 jars already. Don't be afraid to catch any that falls. There we go.